Hey my friends, this is Daniel, Aldie, and today I want to talk with you about achieving financial success. A lot of people write me and they ask me, well Daniel, can you teach me exactly what you did to become the person you are today? How did you achieve your financial goals? Well, in this video, I'm going to break it down with you in these 7 steps. So listen up. The first step is to estimate your future finances. For instance, how much money do you think you need to earn within the next 5 years? What about 10 years? And why exactly do you need that kind of money? Let's say, for instance, you're earning $50,000 a year, but you know that you can do a lot better than that. When you estimate how much you want to earn in a yearly basis, you're gonna have to factor in your cost of living. How much mortgage or rent do you have to pay every month? What is the charge of your vehicles? What kind of bills do you have to pay? Are there any debts that you need to cover? What other expenditures do you need to partake in order to live the kind of lifestyle that you want to live? Once you begin to determine what you want financially, then your mind will start to work toward those results. So for instance, if you say that you want $100,000 a year, then your mind will start to work and gravitate toward those numbers. It will begin to fathom and understand what exactly you need to do in order to reach that financial goal. The second step is to understand your potential. What exactly can you do that no one else can do? What kind of gifts and talents and skills and abilities are you uniquely endowed with by your Creator that has allowed you to become the person that you are today? How can you use those abilities to get to where you want to be in the future? Now you have to understand exactly what your potential is. Do you have the kind of skills necessary to become that kind of person? Do you have that kind of potential? Are you a leader or are you a follower? Sometimes followers can make more money than leaders, but most of the time leaders make more money than followers. You have to figure out exactly where you are in your life and where you stand in the world. And once you understand your potential, then financial success will come to your way. When it comes to factoring your potential, you have to be realistic with yourself. If you're in your 80s and your 90s, I'm not saying that you can't do anything with your life, but you're probably not gonna have as much time as you would if you were in your 20s or your 30s. Or for instance, let's say you're a housewife and you decide that you're going to be dedicated to your husband and your family, and so you're not gonna pursue big financial goals for yourself. Well, it's your job to figure out what your husband can do and do everything you can to help him to reach those financial goals. Now, when it comes to estimating your potential, you cannot underrate or overrate yourself. There's a lot of people who underrate themselves and they talk themselves out of success. They don't believe they're good enough, or that they're smart enough, or that they're tall enough, or that they're the right skin color, or that they're the right sex, or whatever it is. But you have to understand that you have every single resource necessary for you to achieve the kind of financial desire that you've aspired for since the beginning. Now, if you're overrating yourself and you think you can conquer the world or become the next president or become a trillionaire in the next year or two, then that's probably not gonna happen if you haven't done any work leading up to that. So you have to be fair in the estimation of yourself and your potential. The third step is to look for your industry. What kind of industry will pay the price that you've been asking for? For instance, there's a lot of humanitarian people out there in the world, but they want to partake in non-profit activities that pay them far below what they want to earn. Now, a lot of people resort to the answer, well, I don't do it for the money. Well, then what do you do it for? Of course you do it for the purpose, but you need money in order to fulfill your purpose. So you have to factor in money and find an industry that can help you supplement the kind of income that you want. Try to figure out if this industry can use your skills, your abilities, your gifts, and if it can, then ask yourself, is this something I could dedicate my whole life to? Can I spend the next 50 years doing everything I can to mastering my niche and becoming the person that I want to be so I can reach my financial goal? The fourth step is to get started. There's a lot of people who are where they are right now, but they don't believe that they're in the right situation. And that's a problem. The other day I ran into a guy who was a janitor just a couple weeks ago, and now he's almost running the place at the gym that he's at. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy was taking out trash but now he's making sales. Next thing you know, he's probably going to be running the whole business and eventually having his own company, because that's the kind of potential that he has. That's the kind of work ethic that he belongs to because he started where he was. I'll give you another example. I was at the gym the other day and I remember talking to a guy who was just a janitor several weeks ago. As we got into a conversation, he told me that he was now in sales, and soon enough, he was planning to run the whole entire gym. Now I can see it because he has the vision in his mind and he believes that he can accomplish this goal. I thought to myself, wow, you give this guy less than a year and he will be running this gym pretty soon. Now just imagine, how did a guy go from making $9 an hour as a janitor to doubling his income and potentially even quadrupling it once he starts to run the place? And the key is just to get started. Get started with where you are. Begin to ask questions. Begin to look for opportunities. Begin to do everything you can to become the best at what you do. The fifth step to reaching your financial goal is to increase your value. Remember, if you do more than you're paid to do, you'll get paid more than you do. If you double your productivity, you're going to double your income. If someone doesn't recognize you on the job, eventually someone will. Opportunities will start to flood your path, and you will begin to see greater versions of yourself as you refine your character and become better at what you do. Even in your current role, constantly educate yourself. Know more about the job than anyone else. Even if you're not as good as the other guy or the other girl, do the best you can to become the best that you are. What naturally happens when you increase your value is that you increase your income. Now, if you just got started and you're making little changes and you realize the changes but no one else does, it doesn't mean that you're not getting a raise. All it means is that you need to keep on working. You need to keep on progressing. You need to keep on developing your character so that you can continue to grow in every way you can. The sixth step to reaching your financial goal is to save and invest. Whenever you earn money, try to pocket at least 25% of all that you earn. The key to becoming wealthy is to take that savings that you have and pour it back into yourself if you can. So for instance, let's say you made $1,000. Out of that $1,000, you take $250 and you pour it back into books, into conferences, into coaching, into business equipment, into your website, or whatever it is that you need in order to enlarge your assets, in order to gain more wealth. As you keep on pouring money into yourself, into your career, into your business, what you'll begin to notice is that it will pay off. You will fly past your contemporaries and you will be able to do things that you just never thought that you can do. Let me give you a clear example. When I first started my business, I wasn't making that much money at all. But what I decided to do was to take the money I have and I took every single dollar and I poured it back into myself. If I went to a bookstore and I saw a book for $5 or $10 or $20, I would buy it. If I saw a conference for $100, I would go to it. If I saw any opportunity to pour it back into myself, I did it. And you know what? It paid off. The seventh and final step is to move up. There's a lot of people who make financial strides and they might be making more money, but they never firmly decide to move up. They never buy the nicer things. They never move up to a bigger and better house. They never take care of themselves and treat themselves like the royalty that they are. What I'm basically saying here is to upgrade your lifestyle. Get around better people, places, and things so that not only you feel good about yourself, but other people feel good about you and trust you and continue to pay you for your efforts. In summary, make sure you follow these 7 steps if you want to achieve massive financial success. Leave a comment below and make sure you subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next time.